The new stadium's been open since 2007, but we refer to Wembley Stadium right back to 1923. It's a multi-purpose venue. It's the home of English football, and known for that, people refer to this iconic stadium. That will go back to the World Cup of 1966. It'll go back to the fact it did Speedway. Live Aid the same. You know, concerts really started about in the early 70s, realistically building from there. That one iconic moment in 1985 in July of that year was truly sensational, and it really put us on the world map.
As a crowd, we make noise. We like to make noise together as people, and that's summed up in a place like Wembley. It's quite clear. The Wembley Roar it's evocative. For a sound system to sit within that and be part of that entertainment, that atmosphere, it needs to engage the audience, and most of all, it needs to sit comfortably within the environment that the crowd makes.
It's really important for customers who are coming into the stadium. You have these amazing productions that are on there, great video, great lights. Sound is incredibly important, you know, when they're going into that. That's what they're going to remember, that whole experience.
The sound system needs to deliver to everybody on a sporting event, whether they're coming for a concert or indeed on just a day out.
When we entered the process to design the sound system here, when we're trying to design for a sports mode where everybody's concentrating on the pitch, that's one thing. If we were going to entice the sound engineers coming into here with big bands and big artists to use the in-house system, we had to do something that would meet their brief. You can't do that with a standard sports mode installation. To design a system for a concert is a completely different thing. So between us and Vanguardia, we worked really well together at looking how do we fulfill both briefs, and we knew it had to be a rotating array.
In terms of a kind of design side, so an acoustic, sound system and AV design, we've been involved since the new stadium was built. We provided the acoustic design for the bowl. We wanted to make sure that the reverberation time within the space was high enough to create a good atmosphere. And that's obviously key because the old Wembley was renowned for its atmosphere. But we worked very closely with D&B and specifically Steve Jones in terms of designing the system and pushing it forward. The finished product is fantastic. I think the audio quality from the system and the evenness of coverage throughout the venue is really noticeable.
Modern stadium design requires that the audience is as close to the centre spot as possible. And when you get such a large stadium as Wembley, 90,000 capacity, it means that you end up with very steep tiers, so a very big vertical coverage for a sound system to cover. And then the other part with Wembley is that the east and west sides are of a different height to the north and south. It's steepness, it's changing heights, and it's multiple tiers. So the system itself here is broken down into multiple segments. We have the main arrays covering the main stands and the bulk of the audience area. There's some small little fills in the corners for the upper tier where the geometry just requires some extra little fills. We then have a really well-designed subsystem to try and maintain that wherever people sit in the room, they get tight, defined sub, that they really feel the impact of the sub and kind of excite the audience. There's 8 hangs covering the pitch itself that is designed so that the players or any audience members that might be on the pitch can clearly hear an announcement in the case of an emergency.
As part of our design process, we created a design team to look at all aspects of the project. This involved working very closely with D&B, who had the original concept, with the consultants for the system that went into the stadium. So it involved us collaborating to create some custom rigging and custom mounting solutions for the unique positions we have in the stadium and the unique stadium in itself. One of the biggest challenges with this project was that we're breaking new ground by installing rotating arrays that are suspended from wire ropes, which is quite an interesting challenge. Bits of the installation were really hard, but when you are coming to work and you're working in a stadium that is in the heart of the country, that is the national stadium, and you're delivering something that sounds as good as what we have out here, it makes you feel really, really proud to have been involved with it.
I'd been 14 years of touring, so I'd put on a lot of acts into this stadium from Take That to Muse to Oasis to Foo Fighters. I knew how important this was for the touring people coming in, and I wanted to give them a solution that would deliver what they needed without them having to supplement. When we started talking to Live Nation, SJM Concerts, and telling them about the system we've got in. They asked to come in for a demo and they came to listen to it, and they're absolutely delighted what we've got now. To be honest, D&B just absolutely knocked it out of the park for us. When they switched on the D&B rig, it was truly like someone put headphones on my head. It was just this amazing moment just to stand there and going, that's what we've been missing.